Hello everyone and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns! So today we have the Skyward Sword WingClash Anniversary Tournament 2023 Loser Bracket Finals Game 3 between Your Average Link and PippyInATopHat. So on commentary we will have Floha and myself. So thanks everyone and have a great race.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. This is the losers bracket final match of the WingClash tournament. You know, the any percent tournament of the Skyward Sword community. It has been a very long time since this tourney started, but hey, well, we're getting there slowly but surely. This is the third game in a best of three, meaning that either of the players have won one match of the series so far. I can't actually tell you who won which match though. I can tell you though that your average link is definitely favorited to win this match, but Pippi is definitely not gonna be easy to beat.
Yeah, I mean she took one game, so it could happen again. And also, to answer the question in chat, it is not randomized, it is an 90% speedrun.
Yeah. You're seeing that we're actually starting with two hero mode files. Uh, yeah. Yeah, two hero mode files. Hero mode basically because it allows for double damage, very important because we will be dying a lot. It allows us to skip cutscenes. We've got the upgraded Skyward Strike. And yeah, that's basically it. All the advantages of hero mode. This wouldn't be possible without hero mode actually, but yeah, the run would be massively different. Then, and yeah.
Okay, both runners agreed to a super file name, which is A.
Yeah,
So,
I have been very creative while selecting a file name.
the run will be starting very soon right now. Both runners are ready. So, we will see. Let's get to it. So I have seen some races of the any person tournament. The biggest thing about it is the skip that was found last year, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, big depends on what you compare it to. Like compared to what you actually skip, it is definitely huge. But compared to like what we previously had, it's like not even that much of a time save. It's like not even that much. It's like 10, 20 minutes maybe. Maybe if it's much, it's half an hour. But we previously had something that allowed us to also basically kind of skip the late game, but like differently. Also,
Yeah.
didn't really allow us to skip the late game, but anyways, we are here. Yeah, we
So
are doing some random things on Skyloft, as you might see. These things are actually not random at all. They will just be. There is actually a reason for this. Mainly because we're setting flags in memory. So what we're doing is we're setting certain bits in memory to later make use of that fact, basically.
So we will be using a glitch that is called back in time quite a lot in this run. And it's basically setting these bits that we set in memory on different in different way, and basically it helps us to skip a lot of things in this game.
Yeah. For example, talking to an NPC for the first time sets such a flag. But what also sets such a flag is getting the pet, like the Remlet in here, and giving it back to Horwell.
Right now we are just following the vanilla game at this point.
Yeah, we're just making some detours in here, but we're basically just making vanilla.
Yeah.
That is
And
up until now.
yeah, now we are saving, and it's very important in this speedrun to save a lot, because
Yeah.
that's mainly how we use back in time. So now to activate back in time, we need to die, and the best way to die is just to fall a lot. So we'll just fall 3 times here.
Yeah.
And this is
This is
where
actually
hero
more
mode
tricky.
shines. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
This
where
is actually more
hero
tricky
mode
than
shines.
it seems, and yeah, because just running over this post is actually kind of tricky. Don't be fooled. Dying is hard in this game. But luckily, you only have to do it 3 times. Because
Yeah.
as I said already, we are on hero mode, which means we're taking double damage. Alright, now you've seen your average Link has resetted his console while he hit the continue button. Meaning basically you say you continue and reset the game, and then the game basically makes you play the game, but also puts you back on the title screen. So you have like this playable version of the title screen, basically.
Yeah. And this is by using this title screen that we will be doing everything in memory. So right now we are manipulating the save tick boxes at the same time as the title menu. And we will start to do some things right now. Like the goddess statue is open right now, so that means that we can go inside before doing anything in the vanilla game.
Yeah. We kind of have to get the Master Sword in here. It's kind of weird because we basically have to get it twice. Also, it's not the Master Sword. What am I saying? It's the Goddess Sword. I'm sorry.
You've been corrupted by other Zelda games.
Yeah. So, since we're getting this on the title screen, nothing we're actually doing on the title screen gets saved. Because we're not really on a file right now. What will be happening though is we will be placing the Emerald tablet in here. And we will be starting our file at the same time as the game applies the flag that we have set the Emerald tablet. So basically what happens is we get the Emerald tab. While loading into the game, while this is happening, the game sets the flag that we're getting this, and believe it or not, we're having the Emerald tablet set on our game file now. Okay, that was actually a mouthful. I'm not sure if that was understandable at all.
Yeah, that also means that we can go in the goddess statue in the real game at the same time.
Yeah,
Which is
because we
pretty useful.
saved back in time, that put us on the same layer. Layer is basically a
The
way
map.
to differentiate between the different eras of like a certain map. like different states of the map, and yeah. So now we're getting the Goddess Sword the second time, and in this map, and on this layer, the Goddess statue is always open.
Which is very useful because the start of the game is actually pretty slow in vanilla. We have to do a lot of like competition and the cinematics, and it's not really it's not really fast. So doing this skips all of this part basically. So now we are able to go to Farron basically.
Well, not quite. We're still missing
A
something.
bird. Yeah, we need a bird.
Yes, we need a bird indeed.
So this taking the stamina fruit now means that we get the cutscene now. It's like we have this message only the first time we pick up an item. So that's also a flag.
Alright. Now we will get to see best antagonist of the game for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, hero mode allows us to skip cutscenes, so we won't see much of them.
Alright, another weird thing in here. We're going into a house and we're going right out of it again. Once again, this does certain things in memory. This tells the game basically, oh, you've visited this house once before. Okay, that's cool. The game actually says that because when you stand in front of the door now, you actually get a sign that there's like whose house that is. That's why the game says it. Alright, we will now have to go through Waterfall Cave. And while we are there, we will damage ourselves down to 2 hearts. Because we want to die again very soon.
Yeah. And it's actually pretty easy to take damage here because there are a lot of enemies. So might as well do this on the way. Dying is really hard in Skyloft because there's basically enemies only there in Waterfall Cave and at night. But it will be easier in other regions where there are a lot of enemies and yeah.
Yeah, alright, now we're talking to Zelda in here. And now we're saving and quitting. And now we're copying the file. That has a specific reason. More to that later. Why we're copying the file now. And yeah, here's our Loftwing.
Actually not that easy to cut the ropes as fast as this.
And now we will be getting a tutorial for the Loftwing. Yeah, very cool tutorial.
So let's just go to Fair.
I hope you like tutorials because I'm gonna spoil a little bit. We will be seeing this tutorial a few times again.
Basically, we will just never finish this tutorial, so we will see it a lot. So basically, since we have already set the emerald tablet in the goddess statue, the Felron pillar is already open. But at this point, you're not supposed to have it. So we will just make use of that.
Yeah. Alright, now we're saving. And now we're coming up on a cutscene skip, which YAL hopefully gets. Okay, very nice. He did not jump back in. You can actually skip this cutscene by side hopping out of the trigger. You have 2 frames for that, actually. And now we are dying again. And we're gonna be activating back in time. Alright, let's take a look if Pippi also gets it. Oh no, this is unfortunate. That's a big time loss for Pippi there.
Yeah.
Alright, she will now have to play Donkey Kong.
So yeah, she reloaded her file and save the board again, right?
Yeah, you will. She'll save the file and then she'll try and kill herself with the barrel. Meanwhile, YAL is conducting what is called a file due. It copies a certain specific. Oh, she destroyed the barrel. That's not good. That basically copies certain things from one file to another. And he reverse bit warped this file into the sky. But like he's got the loft, so but this is technically still a new game file. He's like so he like reverse bit warped into the sky, but he's like he doesn't really have a respawn point set because like you're not supposed to be here yet. So when we continue again, I mean, well, yeah, the respawn point is set because we just entered a loading zone. No, I'm an idiot. No, the respawn point is set where you last save, which is at this statue. Now you wonder, okay, so now we've got the loft wing again, and what you also saw, we got a fight trigger earlier. This fight trigger allows us to jump off of our loft wing.
So now we can jump. Like before in the tutorial, you cannot leave your loft wing. You couldn't because yeah, it's the tutorial. You are not supposed to go dash into the clouds instantly. But now we can just go to the Fire pillar finally.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there is an invisible barrier around the tutorial area. So the game makes sure that you don't go out of the tutorial area. Meaning, since we're still in the tutorial, we will have to dive down to Farron. And we can't just fly there directly. Because the Farron pillar is out of the tutorial area. You cannot cross the tutorial area with your loft wing. However, you can cross the tutorial barrier without your loft wing. That's why we're just simply diving off.
And fortunately, we can also take 4 hearts of damage by hitting an island, so we also set up nicely our health.
And yeah. Now our next goal basically, or like generally our goal is to get to Lanayru as fast as possible, because in Lanayru there is the boss rush, which we will be taking advantage of later on.
Yeah,
Not to spoil
but
too much yet. But for that,
basically,
we need to go to the Lanayru first. And the fastest way to get to Lanayru, unfortunately, is to beat the first 2 dungeons of the game. There is no way past that, unfortunately.
yet, at least. So the only reason we go to this region, we go to Eldin, is to get the Emerald Tablet, basically. And to go to Eldin, we need to beat Farron, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We would still go to Farron even if we found a way in early Lanayru, maybe. But Eldin is basically just go for Emerald Tablet. There's nothing else there.
Yeah. So, yeah, now you've seen your average Link has made use of the fact, so his third file currently did not beat the early game yet. It is still stuck basically on the tutorial area. So that tutorial area also, with that tutorial area, you can access the sky and back in time. The sky will crash on any other layer that is not the tutorial. Also, YAL voided out there. That is not supposed to happen. Guess he wasn't far enough. Guess he wasn't high enough. And yeah, that's basically why we're not beating the tutorial, quote unquote, not beating it, so that we have this layer and can put this in back in time, so that we can use the sky in back in time, and then we can dive to the Farron Pillar in back in time. And this time YAL is not molding. And Pippi also as well gonna be loading the sky in here.
YAL actually lost quite a lot of time because of this void out in the clouds. So Pippi actually catched up a lot of time lost with a barrel. So what we did here is basically put the log down so we can climb it and skip the entire Hylia temple, basically.
Yeah, you might remember in the beginning of the run we were talking to Fletch. We basically loaded the flag that we've talked to Fletch from memory, and because that flag is saved at a specific point in memory, but the game saves flags differently for stage. Like each stage has its own set of flags, and we're basically setting the flag at that point in memory, where the game also says that we've talked to Fletch, and coincidentally that that is the flag for having that lockdown in the Steel Grounds area. Alright, now we will be death warping in here because we will need to reload the area. Ooh, Pippi also missing that jump. Ooh, missing that jump twice.
The reason we do this jump is because there is a cutscene if you push the log completely here, so it's not a lot of time saved. I think if you fail it once, you didn't save any time by doing it the second time.
Yeah. It's like
But it's
I
still
don't know,
time.
3-second cutscene? Probably a bit longer. 5 seconds maybe. But yeah, we had to reload this area because we want to have that wind down here. Once again, we are using bit magic. That is the same thing as I've talked about earlier. We're using certain flags in memory, like that we already set in the game, and apply this to our current stage. And what we are now doing is we are reverse bit warping into the Skyview Temple. Reverse bit warping means we are loading into a map of the game and we are applying the coordinates that we last saved the game on. In this case, that is the Upper Academy statue on Skyloft.
What this allows us to do is basically break our way in Skyview Temple. So the first part of the dungeon is basically a chase for a small key that is pretty slow to get. And by doing this reverse bit warp, we are getting in the middle part of the dungeon, past the small key door. But since the map is loaded in an unnatural way, some things are not loaded in the main room, so we have to go to another room to reload this room.
A side effect of this reverse bit warp that we just did, you might have seen that we kind of completely skipped the Farron area. Like, normally you're supposed to get the slingshot and then make your way to Skyview. Well, we didn't really do that, so yeah. The slingshot unlocks the B wheel, meaning without the slingshot we cannot have any other items. The game soft locks once you get another item. Actually, I'm not sure if the game soft locks or crashes, but point is you can't get another item than the slingshot at first, and yeah, we did not get the slingshot, so we will not get any other items during this run.
Also, we are at the point where we are using Skyward strikes to basically cut down the rows here to get the boss key of the dungeon. But this is where hero mode helps a lot, because you have a better Skyward strike in hero mode, which means it has a better range, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the upgraded Skyward Strike in hero mode has a better range, longer range, and also deals more damage to enemies. It's basically the fully upgraded Skyward Strike as you get it on normal mode from the True Master Sword. But yeah.
Here, it barely allows us to reach the ropes, so good on hero mode for that.
Yeah,
And
otherwise
now
we'd probably have to get the slingshot, and well,
it's
that
very
would have
slow.
been slow. Yeah.
Yeah, Slingshot is very slow. So now we are fighting the first boss of the game, Gilrahim. So it's just it's a very easy fight once you know how to do it.
Yeah,
not
it's
much
an easy
here,
fight, but still, fighting him on 2 hearts is
yeah,
always a little nervous, because you can lose a lot of time in here. That is why also most runners, especially in a race setting, save before this boss, because if you do not save before this boss, then you would have to do the entire reverse bit warp again, losing you 5 minutes or something like that. Maybe not quite 5 minutes, but it would still be a lot of time. If you die and you save before the boss, then you only lose like, I don't know, half a minute maybe. Depending on when you died. 3, 4. Anyone else offering something else?
So now that we have beaten Gilrahim, we will finally be able to get the Ruby tablets, which will give us access to Eldin region, the only purpose of Eldin region is getting the Amber tablets.
Yeah. Alright, I also didn't really pay much attention to YAL's Giram fight. But I think it was a pretty good one. The Giram fight has some RNG involved to it, depending on how many dart cycles you get. So let's take a look at Pippi in here.
It
Seeing
was
how many
pretty
darts
average.
she gets.
I think it was a pretty average fight. Like some moments, YAL couldn't hit Rahim, but at least if you don't take damage, it's good enough usually.
That's 1 darts.
I think he got like 2 or 3 darts, which is not ideal.
Yeah, that's like average. That starts number 2 for Pippi. Darts number 3. Nope. Thought I saw some darts. No, that's 3 darts. That's pretty average.
Yeah, that was basically the same fight. So YAL is activating back in time once again. This time it's on the file where we stay in the sealed rounds. So I don't remember the number of the file, but I think, if I remember correctly, it's the moment we. Yeah, okay. We will be setting the ruby tablet in the goddess statue. So basically, coming back from Farron to Skyloft is slow, so we don't do that. We just do it on the title screen.
Yeah. And now we're basically putting the ruby tablet in. However, I'm not sure if you realized, but we're currently on the 3rd file, I think. No, wait, we're not on the 3rd file currently. That does not make any sense.
So conveniently, the games is just telling us, do you want to save after putting the ruby tablet? So let's just do this.
Yeah, and also because we put in the ruby tablet normally, we are now triggering all the cutscenes that would normally happen after we put in the emerald tablet. Because we put in the emerald tablet kind of weirdly. We didn't really get those cutscenes, but now the game is forcing those cutscenes on us. But that also gives us access to the hero's tunic.
So basically, Link's changed clothes between cutscenes.
Yeah. Alright, once again, we're loading into the sky. And yeah. We're now going back to Farron once more, but only quickly. Because there's something we gotta get from Farron. And that something we gotta get is coordinates. So you might remember what I said about reverse bit warping earlier. We're applying the coordinates where we saved the game last on, and put those onto the map we are loading. Because we want to spawn at a specific position, we gotta get coordinates from the behind the temple statue here in Sealed Grounds. And then we are going back to the sky.
I think this is our last trip to Faerun before ending the game, or something like this. I'm not sure about that.
Let me think. I think that's accurate.
So, because this is the map of the tutorial, we still have the problem with the tutorial that is not letting us go where we want
Oh.
to. That was weird.
Yeah, this is these zippers can be weird sometimes. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to jump off before the zipper, because the zipper is out of the tutorial barrier.
Yeah.
You're supposed to jump off the Lopwing before the zipper, and basically, or above the zipper, basically. You dive down to in front of the zipper and then mount your Loftwing again. That basically forces your Loftwing to go through the zipper, giving you more speed there.
Yeah.
But because you're out of the barriers, the Loftwing wants to return back to the barriers. That's where things might get tricky, and the Loftwing kind of got a mind on its own on where to go back to the barrier. Like, normally, once you mount the Loftwing in a specific direction, it's supposed to go that way, but getting the Loftwing to face that direction is not... It's not hard, but it can be tricky.
Yeah, and since we were on the basically sky layer that didn't activate the pillar yet, we couldn't see the hole, I think. So a little harder to dive. Now we used the coordinates that we got in Faerun to go out of bounds in Elden, and we are now scaling the mountain. So crossing the lava is just a little tricky. Sometimes you will miss the side hop, and it's really bad because you are losing hearts. If you die there, it's not really great.
Oh god, Pippi. Okay, it worked for Pippi. Amazing.
I think PP is 1 minute behind, maybe 2 at most.
Yeah, like 1 to 2 minutes.
It's not a lot, but it's still it's still a good enough advantage for YAL at this point.
Yeah.
So now the big problem is that we need to enter Earth Temple to get the Ember Tablet, but there is a big door with 5 keys blocking the entrance. So we don't like that, and collecting keys is slow, so we will open the door.
We will just open the door through sheer willpower. Link be like, nah, I gotta go fast. I don't have time to collect all 5 keys. I'll just open that door without collecting keys.
Yeah.
With the power of reverse bit magic. So if you remember, I already talked about bit magic before. Bit magic is using flags that you set on the game and that you then put onto your file.
Yeah, and
Reverse
now
bit
we are.
magic is basically the complete opposite. We're using flags that we are setting in back in time and apply them to our game file.
Okay, so now we are in Earth Temple, and we will be using a trick that is actually pretty hard to do. It is called the keys yet. So we are lining up the keys with a great use of a camera, and we try to use a Skyward
Ooh,
strike
very
on the keys
nice.
to cut the rope here, because we don't have any way to cut the rope besides the Skyward strike. But you cannot angle a Skyward strike vertically. Uh, you can only fire uh, on the same axis as Link, or horizontally. So we are using the keys to force the target to send the Skyward Sword upwards. It's very hard to do because you have to walk basically facing the other direction and manipulate the keys to go to somehow be between the rope and you. It's not too bad to retry, but it's really nice to get it first try. So we will have a lot to do in Earth Temple in terms of back in time because there are a lot of things that are time consuming in this dungeon. Basically, in the vanilla game, you have to get the bomb bag and go through a lava river with on a boulder to activate a bridge. So this is very slow, and we cannot use B buttons anyway. So we will just set some flags for the bridge to be set to its correct position.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a look how Pippi fares. That is not where that keys is supposed to go.
Yeah. This is not good.
Uh,
Basically, at this point, there's no setup. Yeah, a little too low.
oh, God.
Yeah, you have to
That's
die.
unfortunate.
Yeah, if you kill the keys, you have to die to reset. It's not too bad because you just exit and re-enter the temple, and you lost maybe a minute, but it's not the worst thing like dying to Girahim would be.
Yeah, it's still a pretty hard trick.
Yeah, it's not rare to see runners fail the trick. Also, at the same time, cutting the ropes at the start of a dungeon triggers a cutscene, but the cutscene doesn't trigger if you are not touching the ground at the same time it plays. So that's why both runners jumped from the stairs to cut the rope. And we also need to cut the last rope on the ground.
Oh, God. This is
Yeah,
unfortunate for Pippi.
yeah, I thought this one would touch. Uh, it was very close. Okay, YAL
I'm
got the
not
boss.
sure if that might be a thing because I'm certainly no expert in keys eating myself. But I think it might be that she has a harder time because her Skyward Strike is hitting diagonally, not horizontally.
I think you're correct. You probably have less. Um, you probably have less leniency on the verticality of your strike if it's diagonal, because your strike can hit the borders of the thing. So YAL is now going on to fight the Scaldera.
Now, you might be wondering, wait a sec here. We don't have bombs to fight Scaldera. How the heck are we fighting Scaldera now? Because we skipped the bombs,
Fortunately,
because
yeah.
we weren't able to get bombs because we can't get any B-wheel items.
Fortunately, bombs is just having a bag to put bombs in, which means that the bombs have to be available somewhere. And in this game, bombs are plants. So that means that it's just
There we
plants
go.
that are in the boss room. So we bait Scaldera to the top of the boss room to get close enough to the bombs so that we can fight. We can fight her. So, do you remember about the boulder that YAL chased? That chased YAL when he went to get the boss key?
Oh no!
This is the boss.
Poor Pippi.
Yeah, at least now that the bridge is down, she doesn't have to do Kizit anymore. She can just run straight through the temple.
Yeah, she wanted to damage down there, but unfortunately, the Lazarthos sent her flying into the lava, which double
Basically, it
damaged
was a
her.
double hit.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. She's having a day.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, there are some things that we have to avoid in the Skyward fight. It's very hard to kill it fast with the Goddess Sword. So we are manipulating the health of the boss by using specific attacks, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
You can softlock in these fights without a bomb bag and with Goddess Sword, if you are not careful about it. Okay. So now Scaldera is here. Unfortunate. Cannot strike.
That was
This is not good.
unfortunately slightly too early.
Yeah. It's still
Yeah, he's
fine.
getting another chance though, I think.
Yeah. I think
He
this is
should
the
just
last
be
one.
able to like hit Scaldera again.
Nice.
There we
This
go.
should be good. Yeah. Okay. Good enough. That was a nice recovery. Worst case that could happen is just you fail this twice and then you have to restart the fight. I also like how this the the splits on the runner's time basically are named by the locations usually and the enemy you have to beat. But the split for this fight is called expected time loss.
Yeah, that's what ET is for.
Yeah,
Don't let it fool you that it's for Earth Temple.
yeah. Uh, Additionally, the split PP is on right now is called Don't Press A. So now we have the Amber tablet. So we got our first goal of the race, which is getting away into Laneiru.
Yeah. Yeah, Pippi
So
unfortunately really fell behind now with by failing Kizzy that often.
Yeah, she failed it
That's really
twice.
unfortunate. If she still wants to have a chance at winning this, she really needs to hope that YAL messes up something now.
Yeah, there are still quite a lot of things to mess up in this any percent run, so there are chances, but this is not what we wish for. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we are doing the same thing we did in Faerun, which is basically going back to the goddess statue to set the Ember Tablet. And now our goal will be to find a way to get to the boss rush. Why do we want to go to the boss rush? It's because in the boss rush, you can refight every bosses you have killed at least once. But since this is hero mode, you can fight any boss, including the endgame bosses, like Gilrakim 3. And last year, a way was found to escape the Gilrakim 3 arena. And yeah, we will see this later in the run. It's not. It's probably in like 20 minutes, so there's still a lot of things to do before that.
Yeah. So now we put the Lanayru pillar onto our file.
So let's just go back to the file that is as close to the statue, and basically the file with our tutorial sky layer. More tutorials.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we can just make our way to Lanayru here.
So the boss rush is located in Lanayru Gorge, which is quite far out of the map. Basically, it's the only main region of the game where you don't need to go before getting the true Master Sword in a regular playthrough. So what we will do is basically just go out of bounds to get in there, because we don't have claw shots to go in naturally like this. So it's time for our friend the back in time to shine.
Yeah. This time we're doing what is we're doing a simple, normal bid warp.
Yeah, we are just trying to go to above the walls that are near this area. We will be walking over everything just
Oh
to go
jeez.
to Gorge.
I'm looking at Tippy's screen again in here, and oof, this Galera is not looking amazing.
Yeah. As long as as she kills it, yeah, like this.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's good enough. Yeah, she
Yeah.
probably got the same fight as YAL, so. As long as you don't soft lock into the fight, you're good. Okay, so now YAL has walked to the top, but he's very far from from his goal, so he will just walk for like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Fortunately for us, the devs were very nice when they made out of bounds collision.
Yeah, which means basically everything that is not accessible to a player on a regular playthrough is just a texture with no collision, so you can go through it. Enjoy this nice view of the Lanero desert.
Yeah, well, we're just
It's
walking.
a desert. There's nothing.
Yeah, we're literally just walking out about.
Basically, we were above the Lanero mine, and now we just jump in the well, we jump near the entrance of the caves, which leads us straight to Lanero Gorge. Also, usually there are two rocks in the in this cave that blocks us from Gorge, and a gold one that is mining the path. But by back in time magic, we just had nothing that is blocking our path, and now we die.
That's not quite accurate though. The reason because there's no boulder yet is because we do not have claw shots. And since we do not have claw shots, we're not supposed to get there. So the game puts us on layer 0, meaning that basically nothing is there
Interesting.
because
So
we're not supposed to be there.
getting claw shots slows you down.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
so
once you have claw shots, the game makes sure that you do not go there until you're supposed to go there.
now we want to go to the boss rush, but the problem is that the Thunder Dragon is dead. Oops. So we need to make the Thunder Dragon alive to be able to access the boss rush.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
now performing what I believe to be the third longest bit sequence in the run.
Oh yeah, we need to go to Fair Run again just for that. So in the vanilla game, you are supposed to do a very long minecart section to get a stone to be able to talk to the Thunder Dragon in the past, just to be able to basically find the way to cure him.
Ooh.
But it is incredibly slow.
Oh boy. YAL is also having a moment in here.
Yeah, that's a lot of voiding.
Yeah. I think he was softlock in there apparently. Yeah, I think he's locked himself out of calling his loft wing.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. That's probably a 2 to 3 minutes time loss at this point.
Yeah. But that's
Which
very
is,
good for Pippi.
yeah,
Again.
YAL is still quite ahead, but that's definitely a major time loss.
Yeah, now we just want to hope that Pippi makes good use of this. Like, YAL is still a good 3 minutes ahead, probably.
I think it's close to 4 minutes, but I wouldn't bet on that.
Let's take a look. YAL has entered Lanevru at around 49 minutes. It's actually 6 minutes.
Yeah, so even more than I thought. But he lost 2 to 3 minutes here, so it should be a 4 minutes difference. This is looking good for YAL now.
Yeah, we're diving a lot.
Okay, this is good.
Yeah, once again, we have to dive because because the Deferent pillar is out of the berries of the tutorial area, and we cannot get there with our Loft Wing. We have to dive there because the game does not let us pass with our Loft Wing.
Alright,
wait.
and then now we die again.
Yeah, I was wrong though. That was not the third bit sequence yet. The third longest bit sequence is coming up now. So this RBM basically just got rid of a boulder for us that is normally blocking the minecart, which normally we can just get rid of with bombs, but unfortunately we do not have bombs, so we will have to get rid of that rock another way. And now, what we still have to do is we still have to start the minecart, basically. We need to get the mine. Our goal is to get the minecart to the end. And to get our minecart to the end, we kind of like have to start the minecart.
So, yeah, the minecart is what we need to just see the Thunder Dragon. Without it, there's no talking to him.
Oh, YAL voiding again. YAL is having some not good dives in here.
Well, at least he's not so flogged right now. This should be good. Yeah, this is definitely good.
Yeah.
If you can see the hole, you are actually too safe. Right, this looks also good for PP.
Alright, there she goes.
Yeah, this is more than good.
Alright. Now, while Pippy is still doing the first RBM, YAL is now on the second RBM, meaning he will have to kill these goblins in here. And then he has to talk to our, to everyone's favorite Kikui, Machi. There you go. Once he starts the text box at that specific point, is that. And now we will perform another bit warp. So basically, in here we have like 3 back in time sequences back to back, and a fourth one will follow shortly after.
Yeah, this is the back in time part of the run. Like there's back
Yeah.
in time everywhere, but this one is the most heavy one. I promise you will see a little more gameplay at the end.
Yeah, you could almost say that this run is basically just running between back in times.
I swear there are some glitches that are not back in time in this game. Like the Girakim free escape.
Yes.
Okay, so that was the third one, which is a warp to the top of the region, basically.
Yeah, now he's gonna perform jank jump, where we kind of have to jump diagonally. Let me see if he's using the same setup. Yeah, he's using the same setup. Basically, we run up against the wall, open the map, and hold Z to target. If we close the map again, then the game gives us kind of a weird angle, which we can just use to like go up against the wall, and then like once we respawn after falling into the void once, Link does this kind of weird jump where he just like grabs the wall
Yeah.
there.
Basically, it was way too far in the map, so there is no collision anymore after that point, which means that you will void if you go too far, which means that to climb you have to do this weird jump. And now we are at the end of the minecart sequence. So YAL is voiding in front of the minecart door, and the good thing about this is that it just respawns the minecarts to your last respawn position. So we skipped the entire minecart sequence besides the last one.
Yeah, and this is basically where the runners have the most downtime of the entire run. Probably get like 30 seconds where he's basically got nothing to do, just needs to wait for the minecart. And yeah, this is basically very interesting because here you can see a runner in their natural habitat while waiting. You can just kind of see what the runners are doing while they have to wait for the minecart.
Yeah. Fun thing is that we can just sit on the chair. Like some seconds. We can cut grass. We have to wait. And it's bad. So YAL set his health to 2 hearts and a half. Basically, you can just do all your setup right now. Okay, the minecart is now in the good position, which is what we want. So it's time to die again. So this is the 4th RBM we are going to do. And the last one for this. So
Yeah, it's also the last back in time we're doing during this run.
actually, yeah, that's true. That's the last back in time of a race. Basically, what we are doing is making our boss rush available because right now it's not available. We can talk to Thunder Dragon, but we cannot initiate the boss rush without healing him.
We're eating the Thunder Dragons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
usually.
yeah, but we basically have to heal the Thunder Dragon, make him pretend that he ate the life tree fruit.
Yeah. And by the power of the placebo effect, he will be fine.
Yeah. Good thing about this RBM. Oh, YAL voiding again.
Yeah.
YAL really likes to void today, apparently.
I don't
He's
think
like,
he likes it.
yeah, he's really having a rough day with all these dives.
But this one looks way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the pillar. It's safe. So for the third time this run, we are climbing this log and going back to the Feferan
Yeah.
region. Alright, so PP is basically done with the minecart section right now.
Yeah, in the end here, Pippi definitely is making some time on YAL in here.
Yeah, it's mainly the dives that cost YAL time here.
Yeah, we're basically kind of doing the same back in time as we already did during the Skyview RBW. Except this time we're not reverse bit warping. We want to use the flag of the activated crystal.
So basically we go in front of Skyview again.
Yeah, it looks really basically just like the Skyview RBW we did. The timing is just slightly different.
And
I
you
have
go
to
into
wait.
the region and suddenly the cutscene plays.
Yeah. Also, we're RBMing the doors opening, not the crystal activating. And there is Fi telling us that something happened, and she magically just healed the Thunder Dragon now.
So now YAL sets his health to 4 hearts and half.
Right.
Basically,
Yeah. There's
it's
actually an invisible skeleton there still of the Thunder Dragon. We're not talking about that. That's the other Thunder Dragon. We don't
yeah,
care about him.
you are talking to his spirit, to his soul right now. His body is still there. So we start the boss rush, and the convenient thing about the boss rush is that you can choose your first boss. Really thanks the devs for that, because if not, it would be a random festival to get Wrecking Free as your first boss.
Oh god. Alright, yeah. Now we have to manipulate the platforms during this fight.
Yeah, so
Normally, if you don't damage Girahim, these platforms want to rise up. However, the platforms do not rise while you're hanging down from the platforms. That's why we want to push Girahim down and down, and want to hang from these platforms so that the platforms do not start to move.
yeah, basically what we want to do is move our void plane so that we are not voiding if we go if we go outside of the arena. There is a statue in this arena that is present in the regular region and for saving just before the final boss, basically. And in the boss rush, the statue still exists. So the goal is to reach this statue by manipulating the void planes and the position of the platforms. And by doing that, you can reach the statue and save to it. If you save to the statue, exit the game, and enter back again, you will not be in the boss rush anymore. You will be in the regular fight, which is exactly where we want to be because we want to beat the game.
Yeah. From a technical explanation in here, still, basically, all the game does to differentiate the mini game from the normal boss fight is it sets one single flag in the game where it tells the game to like, okay, this is the mini game, not the real boss fight.
Wow, that was clean from YAL. So basically
Ooh,
now the
very
problem
nice.
is that we need to go back into the fight. And to do that, we need to cross the barrier twice. And both, the first one especially, is very difficult to do. So that was really, really clean. So yeah, we need basically to roll on the wall to go above the barrier. Then we need to roll into the barrier to go across it. And now we need to go high enough to get basically pulled in the fight against Girahim once more, which will basically put we will void. Basically, we reach the void plane, right, like this, which will put Girahim on our position. So now we have the fight on the ground, which is a little strange. So we have literally Girahim flying above the arena, and we push him above this. And we use the finish move to jump above the barrier. And now we just do the regular fight. Since we are very far from the normal position, the game tries really, really hard to move the platforms back to their correct position. So you will see the platform moving very fast. In the vanilla game, they actually move to the to the location they are supposed to be. But since you do not deviate much, you don't see it. But right now the game is like, this is way too far. I have to put you back there really fast.
Yeah.
And now we have finished the first part of the fight, and we have done basically all of the glitches we wanted to do. So now it's just we finished the game. We beat the final boss.
Yeah. However, we only have the goddess sword, which basically is the toothpick of the goddess, if you so want. It doesn't really do much damage to Girahim. What does damage him basically the most is the Skyward Strike, or more specific, the Skyward Stab.
Yeah, it has
damages him the most.
It actually has a good thing about it, that is basically it stuns Girahim quite a lot of time. The good thing about the last phase of the fight is that basically you just need to do one hit before resetting to the position, so it's not it's not slow at all to do the last part. You just do it twice more. Actually, it's more than twice more. It's I think it's 8 times instead of 2.
Yeah, I think it's 8.
4 times more.
That sounds accurate.
Girahim is actually the longest boss in the speedrun,
Yeah,
and that was him. So
he's mostly
now,
just so long because we do not have a proper sword.
yeah, and we also need to escape his room, then go back into it. So
Yeah. All right. The good thing about Demise is that he is hit based, not damage based. Meaning, no matter what sword we attack him with, we just need to do the standard amount of, I think it's 30 hits, 30 sword slashes we need to get him in. That kill that do the first phase in here.
yeah,
The demise fight in itself is pretty much just scripted. We avoid his attack. We want to stun him. We knock him down. We want to get the lightning. We want to make sure to stun him again. And then we do the final finishing blow. And that is GG's for your average Link, finishing with a time of 1:17:13. GG's.
yeah, GG's. Really, really, really good run.
Alright.
It was basically so it was a very good run. Just the dives in the sky were a little strange sometimes, but besides that, very solid run. It's a very solid time too.
Alright. They're both still in a call in yeah, they're both still in the VC in our server, but I am sure that they will join a CF1 post interview once Pippi has finished as well. Also, that was a very interesting demise there for Pippi. He just wanted to slide off really far.
Yeah, I think PP will be done in like 3 minutes,
Oh,
something like this.
nope. YAL is here already, then
Yeah, he's
I'd
here.
say let's get him. Oh, you're already on it. Hello.
Yep.
Hello,
GG's.
congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, besides the beginning one, this was kind of bad, but I put Link into the Tears of the Kingdom school of diving on this one because I'm still mad that you have like 0 horizontal velocity when you dive in Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, for some reason, it just didn't want to. It wasn't even. I don't think it was like motion controls. I think I just like had the wrong starting angle every time.
I couldn't tell you honestly.
Well, so still a pretty good run. The Scaldera fight was
That would have been a best Scaldera fight if I didn't not make it in time for the eye thing.
yeah, it was very unfortunate. I think the Skyward Strike hit the rock too, so
Well, no, I don't think it like hit. I think it's because he started his inhale thing. I think at that point the eye is inaccessible.
oh, very unfortunate. So as long as it's not a soft lock. So yeah, besides the dives, it was solid enough. You got Keys hit first try.
Yeah.
Keys hit is actually what cost
Yeah.
P basically all her time.
Yeah.
She got back some of it on the dives, but clearly not enough. Okay, this is the last part of the Girahim free fight. She's more than
Golded the last split, but not quite by enough because my summa best is still only 111.01. My goal was to get 110 something summa best after this run, but I feel like I would have bested Enter Skyview if I didn't mess up the dive, because I had good movement after the one-frame copy.
So we are entering the final fight for
Alright.
Pippy.
The final.
It should be done in less than a minute.
Yep. Because fortunately, Demise is just as vulnerable to a toothpick as to the Blade of Evil Spain.
Yeah, Girahim is way stronger against toothpicks.
Girahim just has...
He has a 4 times resistance to grass, and Demise does not.
Alright. Just gotta wait for that lightning. There is the stun. And that is GG's for Pippy, finishing with a time of 1:22:04. GG's.
GG's.
GG.
GG.
Very
Whoops.
nice, yeah.
Yeah, good job for yourself as well.
It wasn't, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, first of all, let me make it official. Congratulations, y'all, for moving on to the grand finals,
Claps,
where you will be
claps.
facing KitKat. And GG's to you as well, Pippy, for getting the bronze medal.
I did not think of it that way. That's kind of hilarious, sorry. But yeah, major congrats. I look forward to winning the finals, right?
yeah.
I believe in you.
You'll have to have, like, the only reason I won one game in our last set was because KitKat messed up Key.
Hey, it happens. Definitely
And
never
if I've been-
happens to me. Hiding.
I'm especially concerned with the fact that I'm failing dives, because I want to go back to running all dungeons, and that category has 4 of what are called lumpy dives, which is where you have to dive all the way to the lumpy pumpkin. So if
Yeah.
I can't even manage to reach the Farron pillar, then we're gonna have serious problems.
Yeah, that is the lumpy dives are something, alright. I have nightmares
Yeah.
about them myself sometimes.
I kind of enjoy the skydiving in Skyward Sword. But not when the motion controls decide that no,
Yeah.
everything is lies. But
Like every time you accidentally nosedive, like a single cell dies.
it's just the
inside of you.
listing ones are the ones that get me, especially because I don't dive on the splash screen. A lot of it is just like trusting myself in that I know how much I'm listing and I know how much to compensate. And sometimes I'm just wrong. But like it just in general, I do really like the skydiving portions of Skyward Sword, and I like that we do it a lot in the 90%. And I do want to learn all the dungeons, partially because I want to learn the big dive. Whee! Like, it's certainly.
It's especially good because you get to see something that I think a lot of casual players don't even see. There's these things called ringers where if you dive for long enough, if you dive for long enough, they'll like go surround you, and you actually do see that during the lumpy dive.
They're very cute.
Assuming you are close enough to the island.
Yeah, they usually a good indicator for if you're actually on track with your dive.
I didn't know that they were dependent on where you were in the sky. I always thought it was just a time thing. But that
I
is
think it's a
very
time
nice.
thing and where you are in the sky.
Yeah, that is very nice.
If you're not
to
near
have
any
a-
land, then I guess you have. I don't know. But
Well, there aren't squirrels not near the land. Come on, that's just science.
I always saw them as little mini turkeys.
I have no idea what they're supposed to do.
I always thought that they were flower petals,
Yes.
and then somebody showed me the art asset, like the actual
they do look
in-game
like-
asset. They are in fact like colorful flying squirrels.
Okay,
Wow.
that is interesting. I gotta admit, I never saw the assets, so I can't say anything about that. But from what I've seen in the game, I would definitely call them flower petals.
They look like flower petals. I'm gonna continue to think of them as flower petals, but they are squirrel friends, apparently. But yes, sad to lose like 4 minutes to key seat, but overall, very nice time, YAL. Congrats.
I mean, I probably lost the same amount of time to dives. So.
And I look forward to. Well, I'll see you in KitKat's race if it's not during GDQ.
Yeah.
But I look forward to trying to watch it. And thank you for the games.
Yeah, definitely good match from both of you. Congrats on making it this far, Pippi.
Yeah.
And yeah, y'all, you're gonna be facing KitKat next in a best of 5 match.
Where I have a 1-game
best of
deficit.
5.
It's best of 5, but KitKat starts with the win, I think.
Yeah, and congratulations for achieving scheduling hell.
Yep. I
Yeah,
mean,
scheduling
me,
with
it's not
KitKat
that-
is gonna be fun.
Oh, well, I mean, I actually have the ability to degen now because I don't have school anymore, but yeah.
Yeah, we were pretty lucky that this time slot worked for you, because this was literally the only day I could do. That, like, I have to go after this and go pack. We squeeze this in here. But
So,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, once again, congratulations for the 3rd place of the tournament. This is really good. Like there's a lot of competition here, and congratulations to YAL for getting the rematch against KitKat in the grand finals, and you can win. There's a chance. So,
You got this. I believe in you.
Yeah,
I'll try.
same.
So yeah, also big thanks to Flora for being the commentator, the main commentator today. I went along for the ride to not leave Flora alone.
Did
Thank
you
you.
learn how
I
to
really
run
appreciate
Skyward?
it.
I mean, I'm a com for the randomizer. I just don't know the routes basically.
Very valid.
So yeah, big thanks to Flora for this one. So yeah, finals will be scheduled later. We still don't know when, of course, but it will happen. I promise you, it will happen. So WingClash is nearing its end. Only 1v5 left, but we are actually starting a new tournament right now. The tournament that is starting is the Wind Waker randomizer tournament. It's called the Mini Blins tournament.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and the round 1 is being played tonight in 2 hours. Actually, no, it's actually starting in 30 minutes. So yeah, the first match will be between Final Fire and Melody, and will be on the SR2. So yeah, in 30 minutes. But we also have another ongoing tournament, which is called the A Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup 2023 tournament. And we have the brackets round 1 match between James FNX and Tabicat. It's the game 2. It's also basically a rematch because during one of the races, a cat killed the computer of a runner by throwing a glass of water on it. So unfortunate, but both runners agreed to a rematch, and we will be seeing this on the SR main in 30 minutes too. So both races at the same time. So besides these races, that's it for us for today. Thanks everyone, and see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.